What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Mock Draft Thursday night show brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my sexy mock draft co-hosts, Joey Wright and Tim Wright, the Wright brothers with us today. What's up, guys?
Oh, how's it going, boys? Good. I'm ready.
Yeah,
and where?
I'm ready on FanDuel.
Are you ready? Is it just me or are our names not showing up on the screen?
Our names aren't showing up on the screen, Simon.
Our names are entirely gone, and I have no idea who's who, and it's throwing me off more than it should, but we will figure that out. We got some people in the chat ready for today's mock draft. Tim in here says,
I don't know why that got me.
We can't escape him. We got Dame in the chat with the hello, good sirs. What's up, Dame?
Hello,
welcome in. And Mr. Scampers with the holla holla. What's up, Mr. Scampers?
Oh, Mr. Scamps took up that nice spot.
Says, I'm not everywhere. I'm just here.
You're here.
We got Z2 in the chat here. What's up, Z2? It's been a minute.
I know.
I love mock drafting with Z2. I feel like that's when we get Z2 coming back in is for some of these mock drafts. And J-Wall in the chat. Well. There's a little extra Texas in that emoji. I can
coming from the crab cakes, I see.
J-Wall posted in our Discord a very disturbing GIF of Mario twerking that has lived in my head rent-free since I saw it 2 hours ago.
Well, J-Wall, if you've never seen it, and to everybody watching, Joey, I think you have not seen this. Go to YouTube after this and type in Shrek is love, Shrek is life. And just watch that video. You're going to have to be logged in because it will say this video is not suitable for people under the age of 18, in which case you'll have to have an age-verified account. But make sure you go watch that on YouTube because if J-Wall ruined Mario for you, I'm about to ruin Shrek for you, Joey.
So I shouldn't watch this Shrek movie with my kids?
You should not watch this Shrek video with your kids. You should watch the Shrek movie with your kids.
Yeah, my kids love Shrek.
Well, guys, today I figured out the names, and that is just in time for us to get into our mock draft. Today we are doing a one quarterback dynasty startup mock draft. Rookies included, 12 teams in this one. We've been doing some 10-team drafts, so I'm excited to get up to a full 12 teams here. No third round reversal. None of that nonsense. It's just going to be a snake draft from beginning to end. We'll take a peek at what these rosters look like before we get going in there. So we're going to have one quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 flex spots. And then we've got 3 benched on there, but that'll be time dependent. We may add more. We may take them away depending on how much time we have towards the end of this draft right here. You guys ready to get into it?
Yeah, I'm going to draft 15 tight ends.
You need 15 minutes?
No, I'm going to draft 15 tight ends.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and get this started. Brocal's got the first overall pick. A reminder, this is one quarterback dynasty. So I'm always curious who goes first in these situations. Honestly, it doesn't feel like consensus in Superflex or in one quarterback right now, who that number 1 overall pick is. And sitting there at 2, I'm a little bit nervous, Brocal. A little bit nervous.
Do you think Justin Jefferson's going to slide to 11?
Yeah,
I don't.
Maybe. Maybe if you threaten everybody in front of you.
Have y'all ever traded picks live in a draft?
Yes. That's called drafting with Jeff Bell.
It's got to stress me out so much.
It's called me making a mistake every single time I do it. I have never once done it and been happy with that decision. Brocal starting us off with a bang with Bijan Robinson first overall. I have to make my pick, so somebody else talk about that.
That is electricity. I love
Absolutely. Bijan 101 overall. Definitely the 101 in rookie drafts this year. Signing with Justin Jefferson.
How many dynasty teams do you think are going to start calling themselves Honey Dijon?
Honey Bijan.
More now that you said it.
Yeah.
I would not take Bijan first overall, but I understand. How old is he? 20, 21? He's super young, and he's being hyped up as we just had Pat Fitzmaurice on our last show say a faster Le'Veon Bell is what his co-host and friend has been comparing Bijan Robinson to. We're hearing the Saquon Barkley comparison. So if that's what you're getting, then I got no issue taking him first overall. He's a fresh 21. He just turned 21 in January.
Now, see, for me, I was actually looking at Bijan. I'm sitting at number 9, and I was kind of hoping maybe he'd be around there at 9. So this is really throwing me for a tizzy.
Sniped with the first overall pick.
I know. How does that happen? Work and grind.
Also, Brocal, love that Denver Broncos picture. I mean to say it every single time. I love that old school logo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh crap! I actually have to pay attention.
Yeah, that's gonna be important, Tim, to do that.
So I drafted second overall. Got Joey at the 9th pick and Tim at the 11th pick. So you guys might be sniping each other back and forth. Also, Z2 and Brocal did what I was going to do. So Z2 was planning on taking Bijan.
Wow.
Too bad you had to settle.
Z2's with him.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah. I can tell you what, I'm tilting super hard already. I haven't even gotten a pick in.
Wow, those are the best drafts. That means this draft is off the rails already. You can do whatever you want. We got Dave in the chat. What's up, Dave? Welcome in. He said, "Big Snipe City."
Mm-hmm.
Tim, the other day I watched an episode of Letterkenny for the first time in like probably 6 months. Like
Wheel
it's been
Snipe boys.
And immediately the hockey talk, I was like, God, I miss that. Like I missed listening to those guys talk. I did have to. It took me.
No, damn it!
Damn it,
Craig! I hate it.
Tim, you were planning on taking Jalen Waddle, it seems.
Yeah.
And then Brees Hall afterwards.
Yeah, I didn't think Brees was going to make it, but a guy can dream. I don't want to draft these old guys.
Z2 in the chat said had to settle with a bum named Jamar Chase. Yeah, pretty tough sledding there. And Dame losing it, sniping Tim with Waddle right there.
Do you know when Sleeper repopulates the rankings? Does it, since you set this for a dynasty mock, is there a difference between redraft and dynasty rankings with Sleeper, or is it just okay?
There is a difference. Yeah, you can choose, and even between dynasty and dynasty 2 QB and dynasty half PPR, dynasty PPR, they've got different rankings.
There's a player I'm surprised to see it's at number 5.
Ooh, Swamp grabbing a quarterback in the first round.
Okay.
And I do not hate this in dynasty to grab, like, you want the guy who's going to score the most points over the next 5 years. Odds are that's Patrick Mahomes. Know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's difficult to build your team. You got to be careful the rest of the draft, but it's still the guy who's probably going to score the most points over the next 5 years in the league. Tim going with Tyreek Hill, and it looks like Z2 down here said thoughts on Hill planning on retiring after 2025. Tim, you got no qualms taking an old guy right here?
Nope, don't care. Like I said, I tilted super hard already. Drafting's about pivoting, so I think I'm gonna build to win now, and I like Tyreek Hill for the next couple of years, so let's do it.
Yeah,
nice.
And I feel
like J Wall's Kenneth Walker pick there.
With Tyreek Hill, Tim, I'm with you. I don't think it should deter you that he says he's going to retire after 2025. First of all, that's 2 years away. A lot changes in that time frame. You're telling me if the Dolphins are like knocking on the door of a Super Bowl that year, Tyreek Hill is going to retire. He's probably going to keep playing. And then also, even if he only plays 2 more years, I feel like sometimes people look too far ahead in Dynasty.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he'll lose his value. So, Tim, you pretty much have to go win now if he does retire with that pick. But with Travis Kelce as your second pick, you're probably in the best position to do that out of anybody here through 2 rounds.
Yeah, and I didn't want Swamp to get a Travis Kelce stack, so that was also spite.
Also, the best part about these mock draft streams is the further we get into the season, the more everybody drafting with us is going to know our picks. Mm-hmm. And so it's just going to get snipier and snipier the more we do of these.
I can't wait. I'm going to start being the second overall pick, watch Jalen Waddle go first, and I'll still be mad.
Guys, I was for sure going to go running back, wide receiver, running back, but I just have to draft a win now team because Austin Eckler is still there. And Jonathan Taylor and Austin Eckler to start my draft off, like, let's go.
It's wild. I mean, those were like the 1-2 last season.
Yeah.
Drafting, like when you're mocking it up.
Like Tim was saying about pivoting, like that's a pivot. Like I don't want to take a win now team in Dynasty, but you know, to get the bag on the first season, sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah. If you're gifted that in the second round, you take it.
Ooh,
any concern about Austin Eckler with the new offensive coordinator there, Joey? That maybe he doesn't get as much of the dink and dunk?
No, not really. I'm a little concerned that they're actually going to find what they've been looking for in like a early downs back there in Los Angeles. But I mean, Eckler's talent is immense, so I'm not really that worried about him.
Yeah, immense talent and immense quads.
Dame, I'm so jealous. And Craig, I'm also so jealous.
Brees Hall, Travis Etienne, Jalen Waddle, Garrett Wilson. Yeah, those look like some Tim starts to draft.
Those are so fun.
Yeah, those are way more Tim teams than Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce to start.
Yeah.
Diggs is who I would have taken instead of Eckler.
Also, Cal in here saying I had to do it. Wasn't going to get him with even the couple of number 2 picks I have in Dynasty. Got to enjoy the mocks.
Absolutely.
So Cal's he wants Bijan on a team and can't get him with the 2nd overall pick in his rookie mock. So taking him. I love it, Cal. That's awesome.
Dude, draft your dream teams here. That's what it's for.
Mock drafts are for practice and for dreams. Practice and dreams. Tim, is this practice or a dream for you so far?
Honestly, this is both. I'm really bad at picking tight ends. So the past couple mock drafts, I've actually tried to get over the fear of taking tight ends early. So yeah, definitely practice. But the Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, that's a pretty good dream. Like that tight end locked up, wide receiver 1 locked up. Now I have free reign of the board, which is just, you'll love to see it.
Yep.
Okay.
Simon, do you have a queue right now?
I do not have a queue.
Do you mind pulling that up? Because then I can just be on full screen. And when it's my pick, go over.
Well, this is also in a separate window of the Front Yard Fantasy account that is not taking part in this draft. So my draft board is in a different window altogether. So we can just leave this up if we want.
Yeah. Once we move down the draft board, like once we get past round 5, close it out. But
we can leave it up there so people can see some of the next players available. Good call, Joey. Dave in the chat with the hashtag pivot, hashtag zig.
Pivot.
Also, scammers that I cannot express how much I dislike being next to Dave.
Too good.
Someone's sleeping on the couch tonight. So.
Scampers and Dame sniping each other back and forth. Well, Scampers, the good news is on the way back, you can take your shot. Cooper Kupp and Jalen Hurts to pair with Bijan Robinson. Sexy. See, I don't mind this kind of build, right? You would think by going young running back that you're like, oh, you have to build for the future, but running backs can contribute immediately, early, right away. So you can build the rest of a win now team and have Bijan as your cornerstone that you reset around. Like, go for the win this year. Draft the older players, draft those values.
Absolutely.
Trade them all away except for Bijan. Hold on and start your rebuild next year. Like, go in for a 1-year window.
Yeah. Go ahead.
My only concern with Bijan for this year is when he's sharing carries with Tony Pollard. Like, that's going to be kind of rough.
It does seem like it's destiny, right?
Like,
where do the Cowboys pick in the draft again?
I think it's like 25th.
25th? They could trade us.
And like, if Bijan's there at 25, they're going to take him.
Yeah.
Like,
no, wait, I just auto-drafted. No!
I was probably going to take him too, Simon. You accidentally
back it up.
Can I redo that pick? Okay,
Yeah.
so I got caught up. I was talking about Brokow's picks and completely forgot that I have to pick. Okay. Then I'm
Did
going
you want
to take,
Swift?
No, I wanted
Back that one up too. You got to take yourself off auto.
This is a whole damn mess.
Simon, you drafted before? Or?
I know. Okay. Now we remove the player. Now we're back on, baby. Sorry about that. Why isn't it?
I was trying to
down?
think who'd be the silliest person that Simon would absolutely pick right now.
No, don't do it.
I'm taking.
Yes, I knew it.
I'm taking JSN with that pick. It's who I wanted to take there. And now the timer's not rolling for some reason. Oh, there we go.
I love
back.
your team, Simon. I love that.
It is a very Simon team so far.
Yeah.
Joey, I think you have been rising on JSN a lot recently. I still I don't have him quite in like that generational tier yet, but I'm hearing that term thrown around. I'm not saying you're there yet, but do you think JSN is a locked and loaded wide receiver 1 kind of player in Dynasty?
I mean, of course, I want to see where he ends up, but when Garrett Wilson comes out and says that you're a better receiver than him, I mean, and look where we're taking Garrett Wilson. Like, I think JSN is going to be just fine in the NFL.
My cousin is super in on JSN, like considering him at 2 overall in a Superflex Dynasty rookie draft, which he's not the only person I've seen putting him up that high. Got a question from Adam in here. Want to know thoughts on their
Adam.
dynasty starters, Superflex, tight end premium. Trevor Lawrence at quarterback, Garrett Wilson, Drake London at wide receiver, David Montgomery and James Cook at running back, TJ Hawkinson at tight end. Then it's got Terry McLaurin, Calvin Ridley as flex players, and then Desmond Ridder or Greg Dulcich, it looks like, in that Superflex spot. Joey, what are you thinking about this team?
Can I make my pick? And then talk about it?
So how about you, Tim?
I one of the things that I've been looking forward to going into the season was making as many T-Law Calvin Ridley stacks as you can. So you probably got him at a pretty good value there. So I love that. Garrett Wilson and Drake London, gosh, those are two just fun receivers. I think Atlanta's going to start to get moving a little bit, and then the Jets could be wheels up, and Wilson he's the guy there. So I think you're pretty set there. And then Hawk getting that. I think you got a solid core here. Obviously, you might want to look into improving the running backs, but I'm a big believer in James Cook. So we'll see if the Bills can actually start to funnel that through him a little bit more. But I think this is a pretty solid and fun roster, which is almost more important to me. Make it fun and have fun.
Everything here is beautiful except for your super flex spot with Desmond Ridder / Greg Dulcich. That you sacrificed that slot on your starting roster for the rest of this team, but good God, is everything else sexy. And if you can figure out that QB2, if you can get an aging veteran just to fill that last spot, someone on the verge of retirement who people aren't interested in, like, you're good to go.
Maybe Ritter's the guy. And then you got like two really crazy fun stacks. Like that's sweet.
I would love to see you get a better running back too
than James Cook.
I like David Montgomery quite a bit going into next year. I wouldn't even hate you trading McLaurin to get a better running back, to be honest. I think you could sell McLaurin really high right now.
God, he's so good. He's so good. Damon here saying fun is for sure the way, Tim. And Tim is back on the clock.
Great analysis, by the way, Tim. I was listening while I was making my pick. Well done, buddy. Well done.
Thanks.
Sex. Swamp taking Nick Chubb, Patrick Mahomes, Devontae Adams, Nick Chubb. We got a couple win now teams getting built over here.
I was looking at Chubb.
It broke out, looking like building a win now team. Joey building one, Swamp building one, and Tim building one. I feel like this is a little bit more on the win now side than we're seeing from most of these dynasty startups.
Don't do it, J-Wall.
Oh, I like that pick, Tim.
I loved it. Hey, Josh Jacobs brought me to the promised land in Scott Fishbowl. So
J-Wall, why are you even here? Why are you here? Like, two? Seriously, you don't even...
That is amazing.
He did it just to make me mad. He just
beautiful, J-Wall. Honestly, J-Wall, it's a really the bully tight end strategy in Dynasty. It's gaining popularity. And
can I call him on the show? Am I allowed to do that on my phone? I don't know.
J-Wall in the chat with the I love my tight ends.
It's because I didn't watch the 45 TikToks he sent me today to watch. He's like, I'm gonna go take Hawkinson from Joey because I know he's tied into and he loves TJ Hawkinson this year. All right, let's see what I'm gonna do.
So Z2 said J-Wall is a stud, and Skipper said J-Wall took that sex comment to another level. Indeed, he did. A bunch of tight ends off the board now.
I love that.
Mark Andrews, Hawk, and Kittle going off in the round of 4 picks.
It set the panic mode.
Tim, you went with your quarterback here in round 4, though. Joe Burrow, a little early for a quarterback in 1 QB, but like I said at the beginning, I don't mind it. They score a lot of points. You like Joe Burrow ahead of the rest of the QB sitting there, the Justin Herbert, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, so I mean, Trevor Lawrence is another one that I would have been looking at, and I love him going forward, but I don't have a lot of Joe Burrow in any of my teams or leagues, and give me Joe Shiesty in one of these leagues. I just thought it was more of a fun pick. It was more of a go with your heart instead of what you really probably should have done, which is shore up running back or receiver, but this is more for fun.
I feel that. I'll be in drafts sometimes, especially as we get close to the beginning of the season. It's like, man, I don't have Mark Andrews on a single team yet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I don't have a single Mark Andrews share, and it's going to be a lot less fun watching Mark Andrews blow up this year if I don't have him on one team. And so I'll reach a little, and I'll grab Mark Andrews to make sure I got him.
Yeah, looking at Fields.
I texted J-Wall. I just said, dude, with a period. He said, didn't realize Hawk was your guy, but suck it. And then a twerking Mario. So we can see the J-Walls being mature today.
It's me, Mario. You couldn't see my ass, but I was twerking the whole time. I finished my other drink, so it is time to crack out my next beer.
Ooh, that looks fancy, buddy.
It is Lindemann's Krajik Cherry Lambic beer, bold, sweet cherry flavor and character, wild yeast fermentation, exceptional complexity.
That looks like a beer you buy at Epcot as a souvenir. I can't wait for you to taste it.
I got this at HEB out of their specialty beer counter the other night. And tonight we are cracking it open, baby.
Does it stand for like Holy Elixir beer or something?
Actually, HEB stands for Harold E. Butts.
Has anybody been to a Harold E. Butts store? Like I know Simon has.
Thank God I grabbed this.
It's insane how big they are. Like that guy's got the Harold E. Butts stores are very large.
Guys, my beer has a cork.
Huh.
No, it doesn't. You got a bottle of wine.
Yeah. Simon's
is it a red or a white?
Let's see if I can get. Oh shoot! I'm almost on the clock. I guess my beer will have to wait.
Simon doesn't know the difference between beer and wine.
Watch Simon try to open his corked beer for 30 minutes. What's going to happen is I'm 100% going to spill this all over myself.
I hope so.
Ow.
So why Simon's doing that? I made a statement that I'm just going to win now with Jonathan Taylor and Austin Eckler, but I don't think I'm just win now. I got two really young wide receivers to pair those up. We know running backs kind of turn over a little bit, so I kind of like how my build's going. It's not necessarily win now. Only win now, I should say.
I mean, I'm with Simon. I've loved Drake London for a long time. That's a jersey that I might wind up getting.
He had a good half of his season if you put together the beginning and the end and just smash them together.
This is not. Did you think about that?
Do you want to make a trade?
Okay, we're just doing it. I'm taking DJ Moore here. He's an
Take
unbelievably talented, still pretty young wide receiver, and he's going to be the one there with Justin Fields in Chicago. So hopefully they throw the ball more this year. I think they will. The moves that they're making seem to lead towards they're going to throw the ball more, right? Why go get DJ Moore? Why involve DJ Moore in that trade? Why be adamant that DJ Moore be a part of that if they're not planning on throwing the ball more? So,
Simon, if you were going to put Vegas odds on DJ Moore having the best season of his career, what would you put it at? A great sound effect.
Great freaking sound. That was so satisfying.
Wow.
That is intense.
Simon just got a 12% beer.
Actually, I have no idea what percentage this is.
Ooh, nice pick, Brokow.
We'll find out.
I'm going to go next.
Quentin Johnson is one of the ones that Johnston is one of the ones that I've wanted for a while.
I'm doing a podcast next week with two other analysts, and we're kind of breaking down like what our rankings would be. And Quentin Johnson's fallen down to like around wide receiver 5 in this rookie class. He's someone that if he ended up like on the Ravens or the Bills, he could be the wide receiver 1 in this class, honestly, because he needs to be a red zone threat is what he needs to be. He needs to be the major red zone threat for whatever team he goes to. And he has so much upside, in my opinion.
I'm with you. He's also the prototype of wide receiver that can contribute right away from touch. Know what I mean? Like there is less of a learning curve with his skill set to be a contributor immediately. That's not to say he doesn't have things to adjust to. He's going to have the same adjustments when it comes to learning the NFL route tree, right? Adjusting to the speed of the game. But these big bodied wide receivers can be immediate touchdown threats. You don't need a clean route to be 6'5" and in the end zone, right? You're just open. You're just a big guy.
Where did DK Metcalf go in his rookie season? We'll do a little Googling and figure that out where he went.
He was going in
receiver, I should say.
I got him at like the 1-6 or 7 in a 10 team
that
year. So, and Jail was he thought I was pretty dumb for taking that pick, but that's one of the guys I wanted to talk about on Fruity Ducks team. I like DK Metcalf ahead of a lot of the guys that were picked ahead of him. he's just a stud and he's only 25. Like he's going to hit his peak and he's still the giant of giants as a receiver.
Every time I think I might be out on DK Metcalf, I just look to my bedside table and I see the frame picture that I have of him with his shirt off. And then I realize I'm too low on DK Metcalf.
That, Joey, be careful with that because I would draft Josh Gordon right now if that picture of him showed up. like with my next pick.
Oh, crap. I'm up soon.
Just be careful.
That
Also,
little sound means I'm up.
Cal in the chat with the HEB all day, baby.
Mm-hmm.
HEB is pretty good. Also, Craig said kid issue. Sorry. Guess I'm going 0 wide receiver. And Craig building that robust RB team, that high T team. Craig, you got the highest team in the highest T team in the draft.
Put it in my queue. See if I get him next round.
Also, Simon said, Simon, please take all my wide receivers. Hey, I took a running back that time on the way back. So
you
I
know
guess
what?
After your picks.
All right, there we go. I'm not completely out on him.
You're not out on Godwin yet?
No, especially taking him after Pickens and Watkins and Pittman. I've got him right ahead of Pittman in my rankings. I think the reaction to Chris Godwin with the Baker Mayfield news has been a little too much. I just traded a 111 for Chris Godwin, and I feel really good about that. Because like Pat Fitzmaurice was saying on the last show, like after the 107, 108 in non-superflex dynasty, it's a little choppy. And I like what we've seen out of Godwin. The type of receiver that Baker's thrown to and has had success with, Godwin profiles pretty well with Tampa Bay, so I feel okay about it. Jay Wall has just texted me again. Because of what he did, I'm going to say everything he sends me. Oh my God, Jay Wall, if you do it, and he's going to, because it makes sense for his team.
Also, Jay Wall in the chat said, I'm just sitting here thinking about the fist pump from Joey when I drafted Andrews and fiery anger when I took Hawk.
I don't even need to look because I know what he's going to do.
Awesome for you.
Stay tuned for the reaction.
You guys ever accidentally open a window and music starts playing and you immediately join in singing? I had to close that window rather quickly. Also, Swamp said, damn, Joey wanted Godwin. And Craig said a Buccaneers fan would say that. In Joey's defense, he did just today say that the Buccaneers should trade Mike Evans to the Bills. He said that's number one on his wish list for the offseason. Joey, did he take your player?
Just look at the second player he took.
Trevor Lawrence followed by Damian Pierce with nothing but love from J Wall, Joey.
The blow was softened by the text message because I literally said on the show, I'll add him to my queue and see if he makes me down to the next round. And I just assumed the horns grew out of J Wall's forehead to take the player I wanted. But that's okay.
He came in and said, I don't even like Pierce that much.
J Wall, would you like to make a trade in this mock draft? Hopefully.
Joey's back on the clock. Tim taking Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen his age is finally catching up to how old he actually has looked for the last 5 years. Are you concerned about him aging? Or he's got practice looking 30, so maybe he'll be better at being 30.
Yeah, it is getting to the point where I was looking at the players around him, and I think he's got a couple more rides left in him, and I just kind of had to, I kind of put myself in a corner here looking at some of these receivers that I don't really trust as much. So actually, I probably should have taken Ridley. Oh, well, hate to see it.
You guys never told me this show's a lot more fun with alcohol.
It is a little bit more fun. Do you guys like my mug today?
I do.
I have a Viking. I have a Viking mug with like a wolf carving on it out of a horn.
Is that like a Game of Thrones wolf?
I don't know. It's we're going to the Renaissance Fair. Quick, order mugs on Amazon. Mug.
Nice.
Actually, I think this one was a gift from.
I like your mug so much. Brother. I'm thinking about making up rumors about you and telling JL. That's how much I like your mug.
To get it back. Yeah. We got Victor in the chat. What's up, Victor?
Victor,
son of a female dog. I missed the beginning to this. What's up, bro? Chachos. Welcome in, Victor. Best week than never. And we got JL in here. Said hi, friends.
JL, I don't know if you've heard this rumor, but
Swamp in here saying hi to JL. And Big Bop Burp wants to know best landing spot for Bijan. Go.
Ooh.
Kansas City.
I'm thinking. problem.
Best landing spot for Bijan would be Kansas City. What, like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Isaiah Pacheco, they're not going to beat him out. It's the best offense in the league. It's not going to happen, but he would be the number one dynasty running back, I think, if he landed in Kansas City.
Yeah, but they don't use him. Have you thought about Jerick McKinnon?
I did not consider Jerick McKinnon.
Honestly,
Miami.
I'm going to throw a name out here with somebody that's there right now that I do like. I love Tyler Algier. But if he went to Atlanta would have Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Bijan Robinson. That offense would be unstoppable, and Bijan would get a ton of work because they would go up so fast in games. He would get so much work on the back end.
I mean, Arthur Smith would probably have something to say about going up in games.
Yeah. That's a dream, like a best landing spot.
Tim, this is where I'll take him since you left him on the board for me. I'm going to grab Calvin Ridley here. There's some other wide receivers that I like, but the age mixed with the upside there in Jacksonville, I think with the other wide receivers I have, like I feel very safe with T. Higgins and DJ Moore. I know there's uncertainty around DJ Moore, but he's solid. Probably going to get me 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns minimum. He did that with literally nothing in Carolina. It's the JSN and Ridley picks that are upside, but a little bit more uncertainty for me. Swamp said I'm also an Algier believer, and Z2 saying Philly at 10 for Bijan. That would be a great spot for him. Victor wants to know, asking the important questions, can we put up that Bowser dump truck again? Give the chat what it wants. Maybe.
It was pretty big.
He's got that badonkadonk looking pretty good over there.
Bijan to the Eagles, I would hate it. I would really hate it because then I would literally have no idea where to draft Jalen Hurts. None. Zero.
Send Bijan to the Dolphins. Just make Tua throw. Yeah. I just wanted to get Tim on my side. We have Easter coming up, and we want to get it along for Mom. So
True.
Okay, guys.
Oh, Amari Cooper.
Oh, am I back on the clock? No, you stinker, bro, Cal. That's 100% where I was going to go. And I was distracted finding something very important. I
can't believe J-Wall.
Then I'm going to grab Miles Sanders here. Mr. 5 yards a carry on a new team, but I think that's pretty good value in the 7th round to have that as my second running back. I'm not mad about it. Also, Z2 said building Thor's hammer, drafting, and watching the stream is the ultimate multitask. Yeah, I'm taking a break from building Thor's hammer.
Great value for D-Duck on Treylon Burks there. Great value.
Where do you land on Treylon Burks, Joey? I find myself not wanting to draft him. I just feel like I didn't see enough this past year to be excited.
I'm not, but I'm just waiting for him to get a quarterback that I feel excited about, and I feel like that's on the horizon. I've seen I was talking to Pat Fitzmaurice earlier this week, and boy, name drop Joey. Sorry, that was rude.
I don't know who that is.
And I said that, there's this rumor going out the first time I got peaked on Treylon Burks.
Damn it, Scampers.
That Anthony Richardson, the Titans were talking about trading up to get him. And if they were to make that move, I would be very excited about Treylon Burks. And anyone that's getting him right now would get even better value than I was mentioning on him.
Oh, the draft board disappeared. But there was something very important we needed to pull up here.
Yeah.
Victor, this is for you. Talk about a badonkadonk. This is Bowser in his sexy little golf pants. Showing off that dump truck just for you.
I'm putting all of my money from my bank account into Bowser winning the Masters.
Yeah, with a truck like that, he's got to win it. Right?
I'm really sad I didn't get any Masters bets in.
Yeah, it is a little bit more fun watching. But you know what I'm excited for tomorrow? A nice Masters nap. I got to find time for it. Let's see, where is that screen? There it is.
Simon, kudos on bringing that up. Like, if anybody ever needs to take a good nap, just throw golf on the weekends. And it's like the announcers are whispering to you. It's like, all right, it's time to go to sleep. And he's on the 12th green. He's got about a 25-foot putt here, and he's lining it up. And oh, he missed it by about 3 feet. I hope you're enjoying your nap. Hope your pillow is comfortable. It's beautiful. I went on a little too long with that. Sorry about that, guys.
My first apartment. Tim's first apartment. Our first apartment. Me and Tim lived together in our first apartment ever. It was a dungeon moldy hellhole, and it was our dungeon moldy hellhole, and we loved it.
Swamp, you piece of shit.
But we had a big red, disgusting couch that was so comfortable, and it was right by the windows. And during the Masters, you just open those windows up. Clemson in April, sleeping on that couch is the best. I'll never get a Masters nap with quite that quality again.
That's what I hate about Florida, is we get no good like cold weather flowing through.
No breeze. Also, David here said Bowser hits bombs. Surprisingly good putter, too. Yeah, he's not just force. He's got some grace in there as well. And JL likes his sexy golf pants. So Big Bop Burp said Bowser versus Rom Prop's going wild. Give me King Koopa, baby. Yeah, Rom ain't got nothing there. And JL said no Masters nap, Simon. We have to save our slacker time for the new Zelda game.
Yeah. I'm so worried about that new Zelda game. Joey, would you mind taking care of this today? Hey, Joey, would you mind taking care of this today? Like, oh no, guys.
The Front Yard Fantasy as a company is about 2 weeks further behind because of the last time the Zelda game came out. But JL, we can turn it into work, guys. We can just stream Zelda. Then
that's true.
Then we're working.
I told you that I've told my wife like not to allow me to have the game until after Christmas when the season's over.
Otherwise, you're going to.
I'm going to miss out on company bonding. If I Swamp, excellent pick on Bijan.
How'd you get him that late? Damn,
exactly where I was going to take him. You turd burger.
Burger, not a turd burglar.
I'm going to need all 45 seconds of this pick.
Why is beer more fun to drink out of like a horn?
Oh, I have my mug over there, but it's just got boring old water.
All right,
it's so much more fun.
On running backs.
You guys should come to the Texas Renaissance Festival this year.
No. Okay.
Tim. Okay, I convinced you. I knew I could do it. You get to wear costumes and drink beer and run around. And at nighttime, if you walk around the campground, it's way hornier than you would think a Renaissance Festival is.
Isn't your mug called a horn?
Yes, my mug is called a horn. There was no double entendre meant there, but I meant just the other kind, but I guess it's both.
I worked at a bookstore. Those Renaissance people, when the clock out, when they hit the punch out, those people were wild. I could hang out with them.
I heard stories of the campgrounds, and then I stayed the night on the campgrounds, and they were not lying. There is a giant pirate ship stage that they set up, and this is just people who camp. Like the Renaissance Festival isn't setting this up. This is like a group that camps there. They have a DJ and do a whole concert, and they play giant Jenga up on the stage. But the rules are, if it knocks over, you have to take all of your clothes off, and you can't put your clothes back on until you put it back together. And they have a giant wrecking ball that comes through and wrecks the rest of it after you knock it. And so it's called Naked Jenga.
It seems a little bit dangerous.
At the Renaissance Festival.
What? I'm telling you.
They go hard, man. They're not messing.
No,
what, the Texans?
Damn it, C2.
I remember one of our booksellers, when I was a manager of Barnes & Noble, sent me a friend request on the old Facebook when I used to have one. And I was like, for some reason, I didn't recognize him from his profile picture. Because this is like the most soft-spoken, quiet, kind, and person. And I was like, who is this Viking lord? Because he always had his hair up in a ponytail. Like flowing hair, holding a sword. And I was like, that is not the Thomas I know. Sorry to reveal your name, Thomas. And then I looked through some of his other Facebook pictures, and what Simon was saying about the pirate ship, it was along those lines. Like, oh, wow, these people, they party.
Completely unrelated. I did dress up as a pirate last year.
Did you? I think that's, anytime you call me on the phone, I think that's what comes up.
The pirates have the most fun, man. That's why I dressed as a pirate, is the pirate crew was the most fun crew the previous year I went. Tim, you have to put it. What's up, Joey?
J-Wall, I said I would read anything he sent me, and he's exercising that option. Did you hear about the guy who dipped his balls in glitter? Pretty nuts, isn't it?
Nice.
That's it. I won't read any more, J-Wall.
That does sound like some pretty nuts.
Let's look at some of these teams.
That would take forever to get out. You know how many wrinkles are in there? I swear
Oh, man.
we found glitter in our apartment 2 years
Oh my
later
God,
when we
after the
moved
Kesha
out after
concert.
holding a Kesha pregame. Kesha came to Clemson and we had the pregame at our apartment, and there was legitimately glitter. And we had deep cleaned that
probably
place
still there.
multiple times. God, I found glitter in my ears for like weeks after that. Like I would clean my ear, and then the next day there's a fresh layer of glitter in there.
When did you guys graduate from Clemson? What year?
17.
We 18.
Okay.
JL was 16. We went in order. We all started at the same time, and then JL finished first, then Tim, then me.
So you guys are almost like fresh out of college then, in a way.
It's been 10 years. Oh, wait, no, that's not true.
Simon didn't graduate college.
Aren't you an electrical engineer, Simon?
No, I have an electrical engineering degree. There is a difference.
Tim, did you hear that I hooked up a dryer? Did all the electrical myself this week?
Nice. Was it?
Yeah.
Is this a joke? Damn,
No,
I thought that was going to be a
true.
pun too.
I just
You're
keep
hooked up with
thinking
my
of her and I
dryer?
hope my wife watches the show, so she's like, "Oh, my husband's manly," you know.
Okay.
It works out that way.
JL said, I was number one. Indeed, you were number one,
We
which
did co-op.
lines it up for the picture that I want to take. All of us with a jersey with the year we graduated on the
Oh.
back. Tim, JL, Simon, 16, 17, 18. We
Jalen
stand-
Waddle's number 17. I know that. Yeah.
Perfect.
Let's
Tim,
go.
it's even better now. We stand on top of the hill overlooking Clemson Stadium, back turned to the camera, wearing nothing but the jerseys with our little tushies sticking out. And that's the picture that we take. I need that.
And I
Joey
get to
takes the picture. Yeah.
Yeah, I get to take the picture.
Joey's the photographer.
I get the front view, guys.
Also,
They're putting money down on.
Craig said wrinkles. You haven't Botoxed your sack yet. Also,
I was going to make that joke.
I went on auto draft, but that is who I was going to take with my next pick, so it's okay. I thought that was good value on Kyler Murray down there in the 9th round. We talked a little bit about his uncertainty on the last show, but
Yeah,
I'm fine grabbing him there. How long should we leave this Botox sack comment on the screen?
let's see.
Also, Big Bop Burp says, I dig working grinds team. Our friend Hal, auto draft in there, likes that one, said, especially if Dalton Schultz finds a home. Tim, what do you think about Dalton Schultz in Dynasty? Are you putting any weight into what we saw of him last year with the potential of him being on a new team?
On a new team, maybe. I don't know. Once you get to the tight end glob, I have no idea. I do have a signed jersey by him, apparently, though. That's pretty cool. So, yes, to the moon.
I'm with you. I love Dalton Schultz in his situation, but he's not a player where like the talent is transcending situation for me. We gotta see where he lands. Got to see if he can be a top 2 contributor on his team. Also, Maria in here saying, I'll tell the wedding photographer to add it to the list. Thank you. Hopefully they don't mind having to take a quick detour to Clemson in the middle of the wedding day.
Yeah,
I'll be at the
nice and
wedding.
quick.
Z2 in here with Texas A&M class of 2021. Go Longhorns. Wait,
They're the
Wait.
Aggies. I'm so confused.
Z2, I'm really thrown off what's going on right here. Explain yourself. The Texas A&M cult is strong. I didn't know how
I've
strong
heard.
it was till I moved to Texas. They go hard. They love their traditions. Excuse me. We had a question in here from Big Bop
Oh,
Perp a little bit earlier that I wanted to bring up. He said, my league has been a one keeper league for some years, 3 to 5 years of Derrick Henry on my roster. Good times.
Nice.
But this year we are doing away with that rule. It'll be my first IRL first round in some years.
Ooh.
What are some big mistakes to avoid in round numero uno? So Joey, first time making a first round pick in a while, going with Derrick Henry's been a pretty safe bet. But now making that first round pick, what traps are you avoiding falling into? Because we often hear you don't win your league in the first round, but you can lose your league in the first round is the common adage, right?
Whenever I'm looking at first round, like it's normally towards the end of the first round, I'm kind of fading away from like one year wonders. So, I mean, J-Wall took him at the turn. And while I like Kenneth Walker a lot this year, if you're trying to go with safety, I might take somebody like Devontae Adams instead of Kenneth Walker or Amon St. Brown, who he took him. Basically, he could have taken Amon St. Brown in the first and been fine. I want a little more stability in my first round pick than I am to want to take risk, if that makes any sense. Oh, I got a pick.
I'd agree with you entirely, Joey. It's about a little bit of safety. I'm less concerned with upside in that first round because all first round players have that kind of upside, right? You're trying to take a player that could finish as the top scoring flex player, wide receiver, running back, tight end. Unless you're going quarterback there, in which case stay away from a little bit of the uncertainty. Justin Jefferson, super safe. Jamar Chase, safe. You're feeling pretty good there.
So I wanted to actually highlight that for a second. I wanted to ask about Jamar Chase specifically, because if you look at his stats in his rookie year, which are incredible, half the time he scored an average of less than 10 points. Actually, more than half the time.
And that's where
it's tricky, because that's the definition of not safe. You could win one game by a lot, but if you don't make it to the playoffs, that's not great. He got more consistent this year, but then he got injured for a few games. So I think he's trending in the right direction, but he also got injured. So it's weird to see. You know what I mean?
I agree with you, and that's why I've got Jefferson one spot ahead. But I think how I differentiate it in my head is
I avoid
Jamar Chase is just as safe, but less consistent. You know what I mean? Like, I'm confident what I will get from Jamar Chase, and I know the kind of player he is with T. Higgins in that offense. There's going to be weeks where I get 6 points from him. You know what I mean? Like, but there also will be weeks where he's going to win me. He's going to win me that week, most likely. He's going to at least give me a good head start on it. So I've got him behind Justin Jefferson because of that. I don't think he's nearly as consistent, but I'll still take him because I feel safe that he's going to be that elite level player. Just maybe not every week.
Yeah, if it's dynasty for sure, but redrafts, there are a lot of guys that I still feel safer with. Like, I feel safer with Tyreek Hill than I do with Jamar Chase at this point. I think that is going to shift soon, but I put my money where my mouth is in redraft leagues. I'll take a guy like Tyreek over Jamar Chase, even though it seems crazy. If I'm in that spot, in that position in a league where I might have a top 4 pick where Chase is probably going to be going, I'd be looking at trading back out of that, because somebody wants Chase. Everybody wants Chase, and I could slide back 4 or 5 picks and get a guy I actually want and some bonus. That's how I play it, but that's in the minority.
People may say, like, what? You've got Tyreek Hill ahead of Jamar Chase, but who would be shocked if Tyreek Hill outscored Jamar Chase next year? We may think it's more likely that Jamar Chase outscores Tyreek Hill, but I'm not going to be even a little bit shocked if Hill outscores him. They're both in a 1A, 1B scenario on high-powered offenses with young quarterbacks, right? And they're both kind of the speed guy in that equation. They're both kind of the fast over-the-top guy.
Dang.
Tim, that's an interesting parallel between Chase and Hill. It really comes down to, like, which situation and player do you trust more?
Yeah, and I trust the dude who's done it for the past 7 or 8 years, right? Or however long Hill's been doing it. He's been doing it for so long. He's been way more he's been a top 10 fantasy receiver for the past, 5-6 years. And then last year, Chase didn't make it because he was injured for a little bit. His points per game was up a little bit, but he didn't have the big, like, 50-point game like he did his rookie year. So it's tough to see, but I'm waiting for him to get his consistency curve a little bit ironed out before I trust him more as my first. Like you said, you win it or lose it in the first round, and people that chose him last year lost it because he unfortunately got injured. But that's where you lost it.
I just want.
You just want what, Joey?
I was going to say, Jay Wall, I just wanted to let you know that that's funny, but I'm not going to read that.
I hate this part of the draft. This is the part where I wish I had done more mock drafts already. But you know what? You can't be mad about Juju Smith-Schuster in the 10th round. So I'm grabbing Juju. Z2 in here saying, I'm an A&M graduate, but bleed burnt orange, never been to a single Aggie game. Huh. You were that guy at your school. That Z2, mad props that you made it through all of a Texas A&M degree, surrounded by that cult, and came out still a Longhorns fan. That's impressive. Also, Craig and Dame asking, do you have a wedding registry? Wedding registry. Turns out that's a really hard word to say.
Reading registry.
A Reading registry. JL and Maria. Inquiring minds want to know. Let us know. Also, Z2 said, Z2 feels shaky about his team, but even more upset that I haven't sniped Simon yet. You still got time, Z2.
I like that he was talking in the third person.
Me too. It made it way more fun to read. So Jay Wall said, Simon, check your phone. Oh, is he going to try to see if I'll read it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good, Jay Wall. I'm not reading that one. Jay Wall, you think now that you live in Texas, you can just get me to read whatever you want?
Did he make the move?
He did, I believe.
What part of Texas?
Where do I go here?
Maybe we don't want to out
Just
that.
draft Darren Waller. Come on.
Okay, but I'm between him and a different tight end, Tim.
Wait, where is he? Oh, Dulcich is already gone.
No, I'm having fun. I'm drafting Darnell Washington.
Okay.
What I'm doing right
Heck
now.
yeah.
In the second to last round. I don't know about you guys, but the more I watch, there's a couple rookies where I'm going and watching. It's just like, oh, good God, am I excited? And Darnell Washington is he's the exact kind of player that I fall in love with and then ruins all my dynasty teams as I draft him a little bit too early.
My problem is it's a rookie tight end. Like Kyle Pitts was the most hyped rookie tight end coming out. He was a sure thing. And yeah, the yardage was there, but the touchdowns, just like it's hard for me to get behind rookie tight ends. But in Dynasty, you got to take them because eventually you got to have them on your team.
I can get one from the glob a little bit later.
That's true. That's a good point, Simon. If there's a tight end you like and it's this late,
just grab them. You can grab one from the glob. There's so many tight ends.
All right, Crya Gruth. Let's see if you mess me up.
Crya Gruth in here said, J-Wall, put Simon's number in the chat, please. Please don't.
Oh, Trey McBride. I was going to take him after this player.
Yeah, the chat could entirely flame me. Craig has my address. J-Wall has my phone number. We could just really make it a difficult next couple weeks. Also, Z2 says, Z2 likes that you like the third person, Joey.
Yeah. So my last two picks, I went Kadarius Toney and Samaje P. Ryan, which are maybe a little questionable on the dynasty value part. Maybe not Kadarius Toney as much, but this late in the dynasty draft, I do want to take some players that I think will help me win now. If I'm building like a true like for the future team, and while my team could win now, hopefully it does. Samaje P. Ryan is someone that I'm taking in every draft as late as I feel like I can take him that I think can truly help me win now, especially to start the season, because we're not sure what's going to happen with Javonte Williams. And what he did last year with the Bengals, actually the last 2 seasons, 7 games with 10 touches or more, 18.4 fantasy points in all those games or more. So
which is
I like
more
Samaje
than
P. Ryan a lot.
It's more than 12 fantasy points.
Yeah, it's true. I went into Stat Joey a little bit there. I was just reading my beer can. It's actually on the beer can. All of what I just said.
It's the Samaje Pilsner. Damn it, that was the best I could come up with shortly.
I was feeling so good. I was feeling myself the other day on the show, and I busted that Samaje P. Ryan stat out, and Jay all just pooped all over me. He's like, "Well, Joey, I guess you know stats." Just trying to get us clips, buddy. Let's try to get us clips.
Also, Damon here saying, I know your IP address. Uh-oh. You guys, and J-Wall, apparently I haven't been very safe with any of my things. Everybody knows everything about me.
All right.
I do believe at one point, I even held up a piece of mail that had my full address on it that I had written my poll perception answer on for the final round and just held it straight up to the camera. 1 second, guys.
I don't like my team, Joey. I don't like it that much.
No,
I'm
going to look at it in a second. I'm looking at the age of a player. Oh, yeah. Taking this guy. He makes it to me. Swamp, though. Oh, yeah. Swamp. I'm going to take Kirk Cousins' teammate, KJ Osborne. Only 25 years old. He's going to slide into that wide receiver 2 role if the Vikings don't take someone else.
Cosborn, as I like to call him.
The Vikings were the only team in the league last year that have 3 players in the top 15 in red zone targets. So Osborne hopefully gets a little bit more work next year. All right, Tim, let's look at your team.
I hate my Tim 2, Tim. I hate my Tim 2 team. Say I hate my team 2, Tim, 5 times fast.
Did you say I hate my Tim 2 Tim?
I hate my Tim 2 team.
I hate my Tim 2 team. Yeah.
Tim, I don't know if I hate your team because I haven't looked at it.
I don't know if I hate it either.
But I'm going to look at it right now.
Well, Tim, the thing is you've got an elite player at all 4 positions with Hill, Kelsey, Jacobs, and Burrow. And then I like that you're running back to is J.K. Dobbins, and then you just went crazy on wide receivers, which is what you should do after you build like that. You got a good young running back, Zach Evans. Would love to see him end up in Los Angeles to complement Eckler. Yeah, I like your team, Tim.
I think your running backs outside of Jacobs are shit, but the rest of your team is good.
Wow.
Like Dobbins is fine, but I wouldn't want him as my RB2 in Dynasty whenever you've got Zach Evans and Tank Bigsby behind him. But the rest of this, Tim, that being said,
I picked
often
Tank
leave
because I like
Dynasty.
Tank.
Oh, you have to draft Tank. He's
I
on the
just
all
like the name.
team. I like leaving Dynasty drafts with teams like this. I don't mind having my RB2 slot be my weakest spot. And I think that's what you're looking at right now. So I like your team a lot.
Is anybody going to take Izzy Abanikanda?
I'm going to take
my favorite player name. Tank Bigsby was coming in strong, and then I was like, Izzy Abanikanda. What?
Wow.
It's borderline on Tim Batuka of how much I love a player's name.
I'm taking Evan Ingram down here at the end.
Nice.
Since I took Darnell Washington with that last pick.
That's a beautiful pick, Simon.
I like it down there in the 12th round. I can start Evan Ingram and wait and see if Darnell Washington turns into what I want. J-Wall said, rate my team or I'll come on the show. J-Wall, we can't do that on YouTube. Our channel got taken down for a week last time.
Let's see, J-Wall. Do we have time to look at teams?
Turn. Yeah, we can take a peek at J-Wall's team real quick, and then we'll jump out of here for the day. But J-Wall drafted at the turn, started with Kemba Walker, Damian Pierce, Tyler Algier, and Elijah Mitchell at running back. Joey, why don't you take a crack at rating this team first?
Yeah, he's an asshole. No, he did good. Yeah, he's like I said about Tim's team. He's got an elite position player at each position with Walker, Brown, Hawkinson, and Trevor Lawrence. I probably wouldn't do the double tight end strategy, but he did follow up nicely with Damian Pierce at the end. I just think his wide receivers are a little weak, and that's about all. I do love Dotson though, but
did I say Kemba Walker and not Kenneth Walker?
I think so.
What did I say? Kemba Walker?
I think I said Kemba Walker, not Kenneth Walker.
Well, see, Kenneth, he needs to decide what he wants us to call him, Ken or Kenneth, because I see it everywhere.
Kenneth, make up your damn mind. Make up your damn mind.
Go.
Well, guys, that is going to be it for our mock draft show this Thursday. But every single Thursday at the same time, 6:05 p.m. Eastern time, right after the Front Yard Fantasy Hour on FanDuel, we're going to be live right here. It goes mock draft, pub trivia, which means next week we are back with some more pub trivia for you. Same time, same place. But before then, every day, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, you guys can come play some games with us on the Fantasy Football Game Show right here on this YouTube channel at Front Yard Fantasy. Until tomorrow at 3 p.m., that's going to be it. Tim, any final words or animal noises before we jump off?
Cow! Bowser's got a booty.
That's going to be it for us today, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Enjoy the Masters tomorrow, and we will see you at 3 p.m. Adios, everyone.
Bye, everybody.